So what's it like to have autism? Here's an example of what it might be like for those on the spectrum.
Right now, as you sit in this room, it's very easy for you to focus on my voice and understand every word that I'm saying. For you, it's the only noise in the room. This is not how children with autism hear. They hear everything. Sounds that you may not even notice they hear. And they hear them all at the same volume. So as you listen to and are able to focus on my voice, they hear the fan blowing. They hear doors closing. They hear the wait staff clearing tables. They hear the woman 10 feet away rummaging through her purse. They hear a fire truck outside. They hear people walking to their seats. They hear someone pouring a glass of water. They hear the wind. They hear a car alarm going off. They hear someone coughing. They hear a cell phone ringing. They hear a baby crying. If this is what your world sounded like every minute of every day, what would you do to cope? Would you run? Would you scream? Would you rock back and forth? Would you fight to get away? Would you jump up and down and flap your hands? Would you bite your cheek until it bled? Would you hit yourself in the head? What would you do to make it stop?
Here's how you can help. Just be a friend.
Did you know that in 1975, the diagnosis of autism was 1 in 5,000 individuals? And as of 2014, the diagnosis has risen to 1 in 68 individuals.
Did you know that 1% of U.S. children are diagnosed with autism?
And 25% of children that have autism do not have the ability to speak.
Lastly, did you know that it is 4 times more likely to hit boys than girls? Good afternoon, community members, honored guests, students, staff, class of 2016, and Director Riverall. My name is Marisol Mojica, and joining me on stage is my partner, Serena Gutierrez, and we would like to welcome you all to our senior talk.
So what is autism? Autism is a neurobiological disorder that lasts throughout a person's lifetime. It is part of a group of disorders called autistic spectrum disorder, or ASD for short, and it occurs in all racial, ethnic, and social groups. Autism can hinder a person's ability to communicate and relate to others. Symptoms can sometimes range from very mild to quite severe.
Children with autism hit the developmental milestone, which is crawling, talking, or walking. This can happen either quicker or slower. Their strengths and weaknesses appear differently in every individual. Over the course of 25 weeks, Serena and I have been grateful enough to work with Include Autism. Include Autism helps kids and teens develop social and behavioral skills to adapt to different social settings and interact in a friendly and healthy manner.
Much like GPA, Include Autism also has a mission statement that they stand by. It states, the mission of Include Autism is to empower individuals with autism by providing access and meaningful skill-building programs while engaging their community through outreach and education. When we first started our senior service learning project, Marisol and I both agreed that working with kids was something that we wanted to do. After doing some research about Include Autism, we decided to contact our volunteer coordinator, Steve Macho. Due to some complications from our schedule, we weren't really fortunate enough to have a chance to meet each other. But after one opportunity, all 3 of us decided to meet each other, and that's how we started our program.
When we went to our program, we had an orientation. There we were told what we were going to be doing, where we were going to be going, and how we were going to be checking in. We checked in into our facility every day, and from there, they gave us our volunteer shirts.
The first time that we went to the program, Marisol and I were hit with mixed feelings. We were both nervous because we were starting something that, we've never done before.
We had no clue how we were going to interact with our kids. We didn't even know how we were going to start a bond with them. I have mentored before. I have mentors now. But this was completely different.
However, Marisol and I were both eager and excited to open our minds and learn what made these kids unique. When we arrived at the program, the kids instantly ran up to us and welcomed us and greeted us. And all of a sudden, the nervousness that we had was all gone.
Include Autism spreads awareness throughout the community. But some of the things are that the lessons there are never the same.
You see, Include Autism has a distinct way of teaching, where they combine the lessons with real-life situations. Each day, we will go out to mini field trips to local places and have the kids interact with community members. Having the kids participate this way helped them improve their social and their behavioral skills. Some field trips that we went on were going to Project Pi, our local Hillcrest Library, the Birch Aquarium at UCSD, Old Town, CO Beach, and more. Take a look.
Turn your magic on with me, she'd say everything you want to dream away. We are legends every day. That's what she told me. Turn your magic on to me, she'd say everything you want to dream away. Under this pressure, under this weight, we are diamonds, and I feel my heart beating. I feel my heart underneath my skin. I feel my heart beating. You make me feel like I'm alive again.
Now let me take you back to a point in time where I was young. Growing up, I never really spoke about or was spoken to about kids with special needs. We often don't see them because they are put in shame. In elementary school, I had a friend who had a younger brother named Danny. My friend told me that Danny was diagnosed with autism. I started to see a huge change with Danny. Danny was being bullied, picked on, and made fun of constantly. During that point, I felt I had a duty to Danny, to stand up for him. I was too young to understand what autism was, but as the years went by, I started studying about it. That is why I'm here today, to stand up for Danny.
The time that we have worked with Include Autism made me and Mari realize that there are different people out there that have different struggles. Working with the kids and making a connection with them also made us realize that everyone out there has something different to offer, which made the kids so special.
Now, I have been told over and over and over again that I should become a social worker.
I mean, you would make a pretty good social worker. Just saying.
But I never believed it. Why? Because I'm a hard-headed person, and I don't really like to show my emotions because I think of myself as vulnerable. So while I was working with Include Autism, some of the kids there changed me. I started to see that I could actually show my emotions, and I could actually be open, and in the near future, actually become a great social worker. So I'll be attending for 2 years City College, where I will study child development, and from there, I will transfer to San Diego State University, where I'll follow my career path to become a social worker.
Being a student athlete has always been the priority in my life. And being able to manage my time out of the week to work with Include Autism has changed me in ways that I never know myself. Not only am I a better time manager, working with Include Autism has also helped me become better at communicating and starting conversations with other people. Before, I used to get really anxious introducing myself to other people. On a brighter note, having the chance to work with Include Autism gave me an opportunity to get to meet different people each day. Doing this, it gave me the confidence and comfortability to socialize with other people to the point where we carry on full conversations. Include Autism also helps kids develop socially appropriate behaviors.
For example, some of our autism students suffer from anxiety. This anxiety causes them to hurt themselves by biting or yelling.
And what we do is that we help our kids cope with their anxiety by using manipulatives. Some students have access to silly putty or even teething rings so they can use them when they need them.
We help our students by communicating with their peers, and we work with kids to help them develop their social independence.
One way that we do this is by giving our kids autism bugs.
Now, they earn these autism bugs by either doing chores around their community or by stepping over their boundaries.
The autism bugs that the kids earn can then be used to get toys and prizes or just have some computer time. Having the kids work around money helps them be more responsible and have a fuller life.
Every day, we take our students out, either to a restaurant or we go on the local bus to local places around. We give them money, which then they can have for their own and know how much money they have. But first, they have to recount it. After we're done, we go on the bus and they pay themselves. We're preparing our children this way for the life that comes above.
However, Include Autism does not just impact the kids that participate in the program.
Include Autism helps community members with outreach services. Now, if I was able to change my mind, I was as well able to change my family's mind.
Because you see, when you change one mind, that mind can change another. And like dominoes, the effect of changing mind continues as part of a chain reaction.
If just one of you takes this information, we have been successful because we know that you will continue to be the change.
It is not enough to not bully or not laugh at somebody who may seem different from you.
It is about not excluding those who have special needs. It is about including them and treating them equally.
So today, we challenge you to step up and be a buddy to somebody that has special needs.
And if you hear someone that is saying something that is not okay, speak up.
Simply saying, hey, that's not cool, can be the first step to making a change. This concludes our service learning portion. Thank you for being a great audience. This is Include Autism.